everything's in the Quran's already been written. Is it just like a given that like no other like super knowledgeable guy could ever be a prophet? Like it seems
sure.
like all these things happened like so long ago. It's hard to like relate to. Like, there's no one about today that could give you more actual information that you have to follow.
Sure.
They can only interpret stuff from the past.
Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came. He gave us the message that Allah said is eternal message, meaning we don't need anything else to do until the day of judgment. Now, the message is here or is not here? It's here, and it's preserved. Now, if Allah Azza wa Jal sends another messenger, the messenger is going to say to you, don't eat pork, don't have intercourse.
There's no new teachings.
Sorry?
You think there'll be no new teachings? Like, obviously, the world's completely different than it was like 2000. Not completely different. There are a lot of similarities. The way people live their lives now are so different than it was like thousands.
Bring something, I'll tell you the ruling of it. Simple, right? Thing is this: the Prophet also Allah gave us standards, right? Things that we can use, principles that we can use to extrapolate rulings of anything new that will come. Okay. There are many principles. Qiyas is one of them, which is analogy. You make something analogous to the other. And there are general principles. Another principle the Prophet ﷺ said, whatever intoxicate is alcohol, and alcohol is impermissible, right? So any intoxicant in the future that takes you out of your rational faculties, drugs, heroin, whatever you want to call it, name it what you name it. That narration 1,400 years ago already includes it. So there are these principles, foundational principles that we use to extrapolate rulings to do things that are coming in the future. And God is all-knowing. He knows what is going to come. Whatever is going to come, He knows.
Why would God wait until only like 1,000 years ago to send His message out?
Great question. We don't believe Allah waited. We believe in all the prophets and messengers of God. We believe Adam, the first human being, was a prophet of God. We believe David was a prophet of God. But Noah was a prophet of God.
Why they managed to document some of their teachings? Why they managed to document some of their teachings?
Well, the Quran does.
So, but as in, like, why can they all come to? Who's the first one? Adam.
Adam's the first. He's going to be the first because the first human being. Yes. The thing is, Allah, as I said to you, the word Muslim means to submit to the Creator as well, Allah as well. Every prophet that came throughout history submitted to Allah as well. They had the same teachings about God. There's one God, hellfire, heaven, angels, etc. But they had different shari'as. They believe the same thing, right? But they had different set of rules that they followed. And Allah sent to every nation a messenger. Then, after the Prophet Muhammad, Allah Azza wa Jal knows there will be global communication. I can tell you about Islam now on the phone and tell you it's good, I can give you the message, whatever it is, right? And so Allah had this Quran with these perfect principles that will remain until the end of time. And He sent Prophet Muhammad 1,400 years ago. We don't believe He was the only messenger. We believe there was other messengers, as I said. Do we believe, this is the thing, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, Allah told us in the Quran, He said, مِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَصَصْنَا عَلَيْكَ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَمْ نَقْصُصْ عَلَيْكَ. Some of them, we've told you about them, and some we've not told you about them. Okay? And there's a narration of the Prophet that mentions over 100,000 prophets, etc. Allah is not going to give names, a book of names, 100,000 names of different people of their stories. Allah chose certain prophets and messengers, and He gave us the wisdoms relevant from their life. The story of Moses, specific here, specific event that happened in his life. It's not like all his life is there, but the events, the stories that we can get from them, morals, right? Told us about them. Moses, Jesus, John the Baptist, who you call John the Baptist, we call Yahya, we got Abraham, we got Noah, all of these people, Adam, all of them, Allah tells, you'll find stories about them in the Quran. Joseph, there's a whole chapter about him. Mary, the mother of Jesus, all of these people. Where could Allah come from? Let's first agree on the principle. Can something come from nothing? What is the answer to the question? Can something come from absolute nothingness? Before we move into Allah.
I don't think so, no.
No, right? You agree?
I can't say that.
Yes. Absolute nothingness is nothing. No energy, no matter, no space. 0 plus 0 plus 0 will always be 0, right? Cannot have something that comes into existence. If this was the case, that you cannot have something that comes into existence, then the fact that we exist today necessitates the existence of an eternal thing. I'll take that very slowly. Say that very slowly. If everything has a beginning, we cannot exist, because that thing will require that thing will require that thing, and nothing will exist. It's called, you'll go back infinite regression, right? If we exist, that means there was a starting point that does not have a starting point, and that's what we call the Creator. So you say, where did Allah come from? He doesn't come, because you need starting point that is eternal, always existing, or we cannot even exist. Now, there is something that is eternal. We look at the universe. Whatever brought the universe into existence, it has a starting point, the Big Bang, whatever name you want to call it. Because when the energy and matter is compressed into a singularity, whatever brought that energy and matter into singularity and expanded it has to possess certain attributes. You split an atom, you have nuclear explosions. The whole universe is atoms. The amount of energy and power we cannot even comprehend. So whatever brought the universe into existence and possesses these attributes, eternality, all of these attributes brought the universe into existence, power and knowledge, is what we call the creator.